right, so that was the intro to my Cymatics King of Synth submission breakdown. So anyways, I thought it'd be kind of cool to break this particular tune down, just so other producers out there can see what I'm doing either right or wrong in Ableton, or maybe somebody can get some ideas. And I don't know, I just thought I took a unique approach to the contest, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to showcase. So the whole purpose of the contest was to use sounds out of their fantasy pack over here somewhere, Cymatics Fantasy, and there's all these great loops, there's all these great one-shots. This one loop in particular, really liked this one, so that was kind of the jumping off point there. And as you can see, not only have I used samples out of that, but I've used almost exclusively Cymatic drums. Some of these others, these like real cymbals, that's loop loft stuff. But everything else is Cymatics. And you can see I group all my drums together, and I don't usually color coordinate them this way. I do turn them green when I'm done messing with the group, and I do group my tracks like this. But the way I color coded them here with the white and the yellow, the white just shows you that they're an audio track. Yellow is my way of showing that that's a low cut on the track. And then anything in red is actually a sampler that'll have something from Fantasy loaded up onto it. So yeah, as you can see, tons of Cymatic drums, almost exclusively Cymatic drums. In the melody area, you see that we've cut up the original melody. This is what it used to look like before I consolidated it so I can move it around. And then we just doubled it with some stuff from Sampler, like here's some nice little bells and whatnot. And I left out certain notes, so it wasn't doubling the entire time. So when you do something like this at the end, it just gives certain different textures on certain notes, and I kind of like that. What you heard there were the two A sections. Here we have an intro, a B section, sort of a C section, solo, cool down, build up section, B, A, and then sort of like an intro / outro reprise. So that's kind of like our bookend palindrome form here. So we have the drums, melody, synth group is basically, again, a whole bunch of Cymatic stuff, a whole bunch of stuff from Fantasy loaded onto samplers. Use that a lot. Use a lot of the stuff. All these little clips are all Cymatic clips. But yeah, the synth group is just like counter melody, extra moving parts kind of a thing. Chord group, self-explanatory. That's where like all the chord textures and stuff will be coming from. Again, you can see heavy use of sampler. We really cut up the original loop and made it into something else. And I know there's different ways to glitch it out and stuff like this. This is just a great way for me personally to kind of see it visualized and kind of sounds weird by itself, but when you kind of add it in context with that choppy rhythm. So kind of cool. Art group is mostly just things that are super high end or high frequency information, or anything arpeggiated, which is usually stuff that's going to be in the higher end for me. So samples taken from, again, that original loop. This is from something else in Fantasy. We just pitched it up and we double timed it here a little bit to give it some extra little, which sounds good in context. So that's kind of what the art group is about. You can see I took some of the, sorry about all those replicant delays. You can see that I took some of these things from the chord group and just moved on one to some samplers with some arpeggiators and some, this one has movement on it. That's a really great plugin. I use Portal a lot. Portal is one of my favorites. Vox group, These are this is actually a vocal sample from one of my songs, all royalty-free samples that were cut up in the other tune and put together. Here's some Cymatics vocal loops from Euphoria. Oops. Harmonies, pitch them up, more harmonies, great stuff. Again, just simple EQ and portal and compressors and some stuff. Not a lot of crazy stuff going on. Here in the sound effects group, we're using some of the walking, just some walking in the park, nice stuff. And some other stuff. This is actually a Legend of Zelda, sample right here. You need that. But again, you see all Cymatics stuff for the most part. This was actually, I'll show you this one. This was a vocal chop here in Euphoria. It was real harsh. Almost sounded like a guitar and a bit of a wah pedal, but if you had enough delay and reverb and, of course, some portal and some EQ and some other things on it, you kind of get a guitar solo out of it. Cool. Yeah, so my fake guitar solo made out of vocal samples from Cymatics. And then the bass stuff, I'm a bass player, so I do all this stuff myself. And I always have a bass line. I always have a sub bass, which is just a little fatness underneath. And I've actually got the drum group sidechain to the bass, which is sidechain to the sub bass. C4 is just an extra little fractal patch that I made on one of my pedals that is meant to emulate a source audio effect. Fun stuff. Aux bass tracks are usually just like extra slides or pretty stuff here at the end that harmonizes. And I've got some those effects you're hearing, all the little twinkly stuff, that was from a patch that I created on my Fractal unit. And this sample right here, this X equals, that's actually from a song I released on my album that's on Spotify, Flat 13. That's my name, and the Gamer is the album. And then, of course, throw Portal on it. Good stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of like how I broke it down, just trying to take a unique approach to the contest by using as much Cymatics stuff as I can, not just the stuff limited in fantasy. And that's how I make it, so let's hear the whole thing. So yeah, that's the end. That's how it's all put together. A little bit of extra information. This one effects synth that I've got is Dubstation 2 by Audio Damage. It's just a great delay. I have it in a send. Sometimes you send the clean signal there. It's kind of fun. And the master, nothing fancy. I just a little shelf, take that super high end down just a little bit. And then this gentle limiters are really about all I need. So I didn't go super fancy on that. Other stuff that I use besides Portal and Movement, I like, if I can find it, I like Replicant a lot. I use that a whole bunch. Again, by Audio Damage, and I just kind of set it up more or less like this, and it's just like a real subtle glitch, just kind of adds a slight humanistic yet robotic element to it. Going back to talking compositionally a little bit, if you're curious about what maybe some of these little tiny things are like this, what I do is I will take, I'll take a sample and I'll pitch it down both 1 and 2 octaves, and then I'll double it probably with the bass. So you get a little bit of movement. Kind of sounds like there's extra little sections of, instruments just hitting on these tiny little things like this right here. It's all about the details. All about the details. Same thing that I'm kind of doing here in the B section. Certain things are mimicking the counter melody. Some things are mimicking the actual melody. That's what I'm doing there. And if you're curious what this rogue cymbal group was, I needed some extra cymbal hits right here where the filter sweep happens. Oops, you can see the filter sweep happening right here. I just need some extra cymbals that weren't going to get hit with the filter or Portal or anything else. Just need some extra little clean stuff in there. But of course, you add delay or add reverb because it sounds better. Yeah, so that's the whole track. I hope you guys dig it. And this unique approach of trying to use almost exclusively their sounds. All their sounds that I used were free. The only thing I paid for was Loop Loft. So you can basically make this track for free. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be posting this other places. Go check out Cymatics and some of the other beats. And follow me on Instagram, Flat13, all spelled out. You can find me on Facebook at Crabtree Bass or my artist page at Flat13 Bass Music. There I am right on the screen. So, hope you dig it. Thanks.